Welcome back to another triangle strategy.
After retaking Whiteholm Castle, Roland assumes the throne. Joy over the return of the line of Glenbrook sweeps the kingdom.
That's pretty much what happened last episode. Not official yet, but Roland becomes king, takes over Whiteholm Castle, and Serenoa is now in the middle of political problem between Glenbrook and Hyzante, since he's both a leader or the head of House Wolffort on the Glenbrook side and also one of the Saintly Seven for Hyzante. So let's see where that will take us, but right now it's all about fun and games.
Yet not everyone is quick to welcome Roland back with open arms. Life under as Frosty rule treated them well, and they suspect him to be naught but a figurehead of a puppet regime. Roland's absence, it seems, made room for discord among his subjects to flourish.
Banners work.
There you are, Your Majesty.
Ah, Hughette.
Pray, do not sound so dismal. Now that we have retaken Whiteholm Castle, you are Glenbrook's rightful king. We've an entire kingdom to rebuild out of the ruins of war. Patriatte and the others have been demanding utmost haste.
I understand that, I do. But... oh, Cordelia. If I should lose you too, I
know you have suffered many hardships, but pray, do not let yourself succumb to despair. Me, our comrades, your people, all of us are eagerly awaiting the era of peace our new king will bring.
King, eh? My father never once let his emotions overcome him. Not even the day my mother died. I had every intention of following his stoic example, but...
But you're weak, boy.
Majesty, I bring word from the infirmary.
Is it Cordelia? Pray tell me she is all right.
She is indeed recovering apace, Your Majesty.
Oh, thank the stars.
It seems she has something to discuss with you all, if you will hear her out.
Of course. Tell her we'll speak in the garden, but only if it will not tax her overmuch.
Yes, sire.
Hughette, fetch Serenoa and the rest. Tell them to come to the garden as soon as they are able.
'Twould be my pleasure.
What is it? You're smiling.
It's only... I thought it would be some time yet before I saw you look so at ease. I'll return shortly with the others.
Cordelia, you've returned to me after so long. But slow and steady is the path to recovery. Yes, there is no rush.
Good news for the royal family. But what's next? Oh, she's already standing.
So that is what happened in my absence.
Yes. Gustadolf was a clever ruler. After the invasion, Patriatte and his royalists cozied up to Esperas in order to protect themselves. Gustadolf used them to his every advantage. He stripped them of their privileges and left them nothing but their governing responsibilities. I don't think Patriatte much cared for that, but it did ensure everything continued smoothly, without interrupting the people's lives.
Now I understand why there was little unrest after the occupation began.
A clean, effective takeover by a well-seasoned commander.
But all the while, he was preparing to face the next conflict.
Wait. Does he intend to march on Hyzante next?
I believe so. I wish I could be more specific. But the Goddess's shield cannot protect the Holy State's capital from Esfrost. Not anymore. He said it will all be over once the death snell is ready.
What is this death snell?
A new weapon born from the coupling of his frosty ironworking and explosive projectiles. Thalas claimed it is powerful enough to break through the Goddess's shield.
Probably a really strong cannon made of magic, similar to the Elfric.
To think Esfrost is capable of creating such a monstrosity.
And let me guess, it's made of salt.
So much for their reign of peace. Taking over Glenbrook was only the first move in a bigger gambit to seize the source.
I am disturbed to learn of Gustadolf's plan. But rebuilding our capital must take priority.
Very well. We should investigate the extent of the damage and discuss how best to proceed from there. House Wolffort will lend whatever aid you need.
Thank you, Serenoa. But since you are one of their saintly 7 now, I'd ask you to keep an eye on Hyzante as well.
Cordelia? Apologies. A brief spell of dizziness.
I have been looking everywhere for you, Your Highness.
Patriatte.
I do not recall giving you leave of the infirmary. Your injuries are still healing. Would you undo all the trouble I went through to get you the best of care? Pray, return to the infirmary at once.
It wouldn't do to push yourself, Cordelia. Rest now. Leave everything to me.
Or they could have just visited the infirmary and talked over there.
All right.
We got a pretty good understanding of the damage in the capital, my lord. It's a tad more than we were expecting.
I see. Then we must make haste with repairs. Let's report this to Hyzante and see what aid they can give us. Was there anything of note besides damage?
There ain't an easy way of putting this, but not everyone's exactly pleased to hear Prince Roland's returned. Esfrost exempted Glenbrook's subjects from the salt tax. Likely a bid to get in everyone's good graces. And a damn good one at that. But more than that, the so-called freedom Gustadolf brought to the kingdom seems to have made a splash. He threw out the old ways and made it so anyone could better their lot in life depending on their ability, instead of their birthright.
Just as in Esfrost.
Then the people must have looked quite favorably upon Gustadolf's rule.
I wager folks ain't too pleased to see us, since they figure it means things will go back to how they used to be.
Roland surmised as much. We must do something to show the people his is a return worth celebrating.
Anna, have you looked into the state of affairs in the castle?
Yes. The head of the Royalists, Minister Patriatte, is extending his influence. He made quite the name for himself, even under Gustadolf. Though he seems eager enough to support King Roland, he was just as eager to serve the Archduke. I do not believe we can trust him.
Then he suddenly comes.
Distinguished members of House Wolffort, how hard you are all working to rebuild our capital. What a delightful thing to see.
Minister, you do us a great honor visiting us out of all the many other responsibilities that must vie for your attention.
Oh, come now, do not think yourself so insignificant. The entire kingdom owes you its thanks, myself included, of course. We are so grateful for House Wolffort's aid, even though you now serve a different master.
We are only doing what any of King Roland's loyal vassals would.
Speaking of the king, I'm afraid we've a bit of a problem. His Majesty seems to be entertaining thoughts of retaliating against Esfrost. But the people have had their fill of war. And I'm sure you're already aware the people look upon the royal line with disfavor. I only beg you take every care going forward.
A warning.
Even so, there is naught we can do but focus on rebuilding.
Indeed. Let us return to the king and apprise him of our progress.
I would walk the city with Geela a bit longer and speak with the people.
As you wish. But this is not the capital you knew. Be careful, my love.
Ooh, my love. No side story yet. Let's report to Roland first.
A coronation ceremony. Certainly there are more important matters to focus on right now.
A coronation is important to assuage the people's fears and restore their faith, besides which it is the royalists' most fervent wish. A kingdom is only truly as strong as people believe it to be, and right now the world believes Glenbrook weak. The ceremony will be a display to the contrary.
Is this truly the remedy our situation calls for? Right now I imagine the people care only for where their next hot meal will come from.
Rest assured, sire, House Wolffort will see your subjects shan't go hungry. But trust me when I say nothing will hasten Glenbrook's return to her former glory so much as announcing the return of Regna's rightful heir.
Yeah, he's playing it.
To win your subjects' hearts, you need do nothing but ascend to your position upon the throne.
You mean sit my royal backside on a fancy chair?
In a manner of speaking. A king's duty is first and foremost serving as his kingdom's symbol. You needn't trouble yourself with day-to-day governance. We will assume that burden. After all, you have only just been crowned.
There will be no ceremony. The people will tell us what they need, and you will listen to them, Patriatte. That is my command.
All right.
As you wish, King Roland.
How fare things, Hughette? Have the relief supplies been given to those who need it?
Well, we had received a sizable shipment of goods from Hyzante, but there are complaints. It seems very few of those goods have made it into the hands of the people.
And why is that?
We aren't certain, though apparently Patriatte and the Royalists involve themselves with the distribution.
They're hoarding it.
Damn those Royalists! They cannot be left to their own devices.
There are more who accepted Esfrost's rule than I imagined.
Glenbrook's history is long. Yet, that is why hierarchy and precedent hold sway. This is a stubborn land, my lady, not given to easy change. Though Archduke Gustadolf, acting in the name of freedom, granted privilege after privilege to the powerful. For people used to Glenbrook's rigid customs, I suppose that sort of change must have been too seductive to resist.
Perhaps, but his freedom was naught but greed and cruelty.
Lady Frederica, I've been searching everywhere for you.
A Wolffort messenger. Did you run all this way? What's happened?
My lady, I hail from Castle Wolffort, bearing tidings of Lord Simo.
Has he awakened?
He has. He is in high spirits and recovering well.
Perfect timing. Missed all the action.
He is most pleased to hear of the capital's recapture. He bids you visit Castle Wolffort so he can honor you himself.
Oh, I must bring these glad tidings to Serenoa at once. How long it has been since I've seen him smile.
There is one more bit of news I have for you, my lady, but it is not so happy.
Is there some sort of trouble in the Wolffort domain?
Bandits are laying waste to the Rosellan village.
Oof.
To our shame, Castle Wolffort does not have enough soldiers to stop this. We would beg Lord Serenoa's wisdom in this matter.
The enemy must be powerful indeed. We cannot leave the Rosellan village defenseless.
Let us inform the others. Messenger, with us.
Well, well. Things are about to get interesting.
Bandits? We have some side stories and a lot of character stories. I think I saw 11.
House Wolffort and Minister Exham's forces have reclaimed the Crown City. And not only that, they have dealt a heavy blow to the Esfrosti forces in killing Thalys and other commanding officers.
We couldn't have hoped for a better outcome.
Oh, to see Gustadolf's face when he hears the news. Now he'll have no choice but to come crawling to us on hands and knees, begging for salt.
We'll see about that.
This could be our chance to crush the duchy once and for all.
Just because they're licking their wounds does not make them easy prey. They still have their iron, after all.
Ha! Iron. We can get iron. All we need do is make Glenbrook hand over the Grand Norzelian mines to us. A paltry price to pay for our bountiful aid in their restoration of the Crown City.
The Grand Norzelian mines. The spark that lit the flame of Esfrost's aggression. But why go through the trouble to seize an iron source when they have all the iron they could ever need? I should have Milo look into the matter.
It's probably salt or something even better than salt that's in there. Dragan was very surprised when he found the discovery.
Minister Erador?
Well, regardless, we control the salt. I say we bide our time until Esfrost admits they are defeated. Besides, Glenbrook seeks our aid in their reconstruction efforts, do they not?
Yes. King Roland and Minister Serenoa have both asked for help, and sent reports detailing the extent of the damage to the Crown City.
Send forth a veritable bounty. To Minister Serenoa of the Saintly Seven, that is.
Ah, yes. A show of the goddess's grace to the people, and as a wedge to drive between him and the king.
Esfrost, Glenbrook, they will both be ours before long.
Even the old man's a schemer. I wouldn't be surprised if there's no Holy One and he's just being the messenger for nothing. Alright, before the skills, character stories, you got new recruit.
It's an emergency. We have 2 patients. Both with extraordinary fevers. The Rosellan is unresponsive.
Well, I can't tend to both unless you can give me 2 more pairs of arms.
Let me help. I've just completed my training and I'll do whatever it takes to save them.
Are there no real doctors left? Fine, come. We're losing precious time.
Leave the Rosellan. We must prioritize the believer.
As you wish.
Damn, just like that.
But the Rosellan will die unless we do something.
Do they not teach the order of things in school these days?
So what if they do? What does the order of things have to do with saving lives?
Not all lives are weighted the same. You would do well to remember that.
Quickly, Medina, these people are dying as we bicker.
Quickly, Medina.
I couldn't save him. Orders or not, I was the one following them. It's all my fault.
Where are you going? Medina!
Medina. That's an interesting name.
I beg your pardon, Lord Serenoa, but a doctor from the Ministry requests an audience with...
Some doctor she is.
My name is Medina. I've heard much about your house and simply had to see it for myself.
What insolence is this? Stand down. Pray tell, what brings you before me?
It is said House Wolffort possesses a relic known as the Scales of Conviction. Is this true?
It is. We turn to the scales for guidance in times of trouble.
Then, I wonder if they might guide me forward as well. I had a crisis of confidence. A man was counting on me to save his life, and I let him die. I cannot let this happen again. I wish to save all the lives I can, regardless of country or creed. Pray grant me the chance to consult the scales, that I might walk the righteous path.
Sometimes they aren't even sure if the scales are right.
The scales are merely a tool to an end. They are not a magical window into the future. When decisions must be made, all in this house have a say. We choose as best we're able and strive to ensure we chose wisely.
You mean you strive not to regret your decision?
That is all one can do. Forgive me if this is not the answer you sought.
Then, would House Wolffort accept my aid if I offered it, my lord?
If you would serve as a physician, that would be a boon. For we fear the war is far from over.
I would be honored, my lord. I would see what I could do to rewrite the order of things.
Rewrite it?
Let us walk the path together.
I am at your service, my lord.
Ambitious. Alright, got Medina. We know she's gonna be a healer. So she just finished training. Oh, items. Twice in the same turn. Wow. Imagine throwing firestones and gas in one turn. Same with healing items. I feel like she's gonna be really good. But let's look at the skills before doing the other characters. Where are you, Medina? Medina. This looks like from an Atelier game. Okay, that's her most important skill. In succession. But it requires 3 TP, so not easy to pull off. This is really good. Really good items. It's gonna be needed to make her work.
Please, you can't take our wheat. We just sent food the other day.
Silence! Lord Wolffort has ordered the requisition of all provisions. You wouldn't dare disobey your lord, would you?
Oh, it's the narrator trying to be a bully.
Of course not. I just can't believe Lord Wolffort would command such a thing.
Are you accusing me, a noble woman of Glenbrook, of lying? How dare you, peasant?
Mayhap we should see what the commotion is about.
Mind telling us what's going on?
Well, if it isn't Captain Erador. Thank you for all that you do to keep these lands safe.
You're one of the lot what recently fled from the Crown City, ain't you?
Just so, yes. I came to humbly lend what aid I could to Lord Wolffort and deliver on the provisions I promised.
What is your quarrel with these people? If you could explain the situation, we'd be more than happy to lend what aid we can.
Please, I beg of you, don't take our food. It's all we have.
I've always known Lord Wolffort to care for his people above all. Why would he do this to us?
They got her.
What madness is this? Lord Serenoa has strictly forbidden commandeering food from the common folk. Surely you aren't asking these good people to relinquish their stores to you in his name?
I am simply gathering provisions on Lord Wolffort's behalf, as I promised. Honestly, he should be grateful.
Grateful? He'd be red in the face if he saw what you were doing. Ain't no way he ordered it.
On the contrary, you are acting in violation of your lord's decree. We cannot overlook your actions. You will come with us and be jailed. There you will await judgment for your crimes.
What nonsense is this? I am a noblewoman of Glenbrook. How dare you try to order me about, you self-important little man? You've no authority over me!
He's Julio, man.
Look, I ain't disagreeing, but are you sure we should accost her without seeking Lord Serenoa's counsel first?
We haven't that luxury. The longer she is allowed to roam free, the more the people will suffer, and our lord's good name be sullied. We must show the people that unethical acts will not go unpunished. Take her away.
Alright, Mr. Lawyer.
You will pay for your impudence!
Can't believe there are scoundrels out here using House Wolffort's name for ill gain. You've done us all proud today, Julio.
What the hell? Did you just call him Julio? It's either Julio or Julio. Julio. Since when was it pronounced with a Y?
Thank you ever so much, my lord. We'd be facing starvation if you hadn't stepped in.
She really had us fooled. We should have known Lord Wolffort is too kind a man to order anything like that.
If you are ever troubled again, please seek me out. I shall ensure that any wrongs committed against you are set right.
All right, lads and lasses, lay down your arms. Let your bruises remind you of the lessons learned today.
I thought the partner for lads are ladettes. But whatever, not like it matters. I don't see no lass here.
Ah, what fortuitous timing. I still owe you for the drinks from the other evening. I wondered if I might treat you tonight.
Apologies, lass, but I've got places to be. Perhaps another time.
You seemed troubled by something. Perhaps I'm overthinking it.
Let us end our day's work here.
It is early, is it not? Is something amiss?
No, nothing at all. Just my attention is required elsewhere for a time.
Elsewhere? Curious.
How many have you had?
Not enough. Just one for you, I take it.
Yes.
Went by in a flash. Can you believe it's been 30 years?
The time has escaped us. The memory of that day, however, I doubt ever will.
Are they related to Simon's wife? I guess. Or not.
Thrice damned, can't move. Always thought I'd meet my end with a beautiful lass by my side.
You have many days ahead of you yet, Erador. We will see you returned home.
Don't try to run, you curs!
Leave me be. I'll just slow you down. It was my cursed pride that got us into this. Only I should suffer for it. We don't all need to die today. Run!
Even in the face of death, you refuse to set aside your foolish pride. I followed you into this hell of my own will, and I will see you delivered from it.
You fool!
Charge!
Come and die.
Yeah!
I don't think Benedict has the power to deal with these soldiers. He only has like a cane sword. And we know that's evident to be not so strong in battle.
That would have been it for us, had Lord Simon not met their charge in time.
Aye, and the only punishment for my pride were these aches that keep me awake at night.
We hungered for glory all those years ago, without a care for how it would serve us later on.
A couple of would-be heroes, who couldn't be convinced they weren't invincible.
Yet here we are, drinking, to celebrate the end of that war. I do not wish to reminisce upon the past. A toast that I may never again repeat the mistakes of my youth. But before that...
Yeah?
You have served House Wolffort well, Erador. That said, I've a feeling we'll need your sturdy shield even more going forward.
You need me to lead a charge? I'm your man. I'll leave anything fancier than that to you. For House Wolffort!
For House Wolffort.
The brains and brawn. Full fort.
Roland, what are you doing out here?
There's hardly a better place to become lost in one's thoughts. Don't you agree?
I suppose. However, if aught weighs on your mind, it may serve you better to turn to a friend.
Then let me ask, do you believe me too immature for my station?
Not at all. Quite the opposite, in fact.
I do.
But the other nobles loved to gossip of my disinterest in politics and intrigue, and mocked my love of hawking.
You said it yourself. Gossip and sniping, nothing more. Pay no mind to nobles and their petty judgments. The people who matter Your subjects hold you dearly in their hearts. Stories abound of their love for you.
Hey, go peddle your junk somewhere else.
And why would I do that, my good sir? I see no reason to forego such a bustling avenue simply to please a stranger.
A stranger? You're posted in front of my damn shop. You're stealing my customers from right under my nose.
Oh, I am? I'm not sure your lack of customers could be blamed on me. Surely the proprietor bears some responsibility for...
What bickering is this?
None of your business, whelp. Now leave us to our negotiations.
Prince Roland, is that really you?
A prince, you say? Well,
A distinguished gentleman such as yourself must be mortified to have your customers bear witness to this childish bickering.
I'm sorry, Your Highness. My temper got the best of me.
And you, merchant. If you mean to trade in Glenbrook, I trust you have procured the proper licenses and approvals.
Well, the process takes some days, you see. Pardon, Your Highness.
Then your business shall have to wait some days, it seems. Shall I summon a member of the Kingsguard to explain the law in detail?
No, there'll be no need of that, Highness. I'll just be on my way.
Thank you, Prince Roland. Come visit any time, and I'll let you have your pick of my wares.
Your place has always been with your people. You could walk down the main avenue and settle disputes with a single word.
Not anymore after they reclaimed Whiteholm.
Don't tell me you were watching. They were petty arguments, nothing more.
As petty as they might have been, you were happy to do it. What better proof of royalty is there than that?
But it wasn't because I was wise that I solved their problems. It was my name and status that lent my words weight. How do you imagine a kingdom with not a single dissatisfied soul would look?
That's a difficult thing to imagine.
Indeed. I suppose the best one can hope for is to do what we can, while we can.
Well, we can start envisioning such a nation, that one day we might build it, together.
I like the sound of that. No doubt the answers we seek lie ahead, so long as we stay honest with ourselves. And so long as we work together, you and I, Serenoa.
Alright, keep him coming.
Do you have a moment, Geela?
Oh, Frederica. Is something the matter?
Well, I invited Serenoa to have dinner with me tonight.
That's wonderful. Are you cooking for him?
I am. I've been practicing with the book you gave me. I was hoping to finally show him what I've learned.
Then allow me to help. What are you making?
A warm soup full of meatballs. A hearty, meaty, savory stew to tickle the tongue and sate the stomach. Or so the book describes it.
That sounds like quite a mouthful. In more ways than one.
The author is rather verbose, yes. Anyhow, I also want to make an appetizer. Might you be able to lend a hand?
Cooking is hardly my specialty, but say no more. I'd love to.
Kind of see where this is going.
Oh dear.
Tell me, burned it.
Disappointing, to say the least.
And we're almost out of time. Serenoa will be back any minute now.
Excuse me, Lady Frederica. Lord Serenoa has just sent word that he has been held up at a meeting. He says there is a chance he may not even return tonight.
I see. Thank you for letting me know.
Saved by the bell.
Like your dinner may get postponed.
A blessing in disguise. It gives us time to cook this again and do it right this time.
Lord Serenoa may not even return tonight.
But there is a chance he might. And I refuse to disappoint him. Would you help me, Geela?
Of course, Frederica. I shall do my very best to see this through with you.
I cannot thank you enough.
The vegetables are done, though they are a far cry from perfect.
The meatballs are ready too. Now all we have to do is stew them.
Frederica, I'm back.
Oh, welcome back.
It appears we've run out of time.
I was on my way here when something urgent came to my attention. I apologize for returning so late. I know we were supposed to have dinner tonight.
I am just happy you're here. Besides, I am the one who should apologize. I wanted to cook you a meal, but failed terribly on my first attempt, so it isn't yet ready. I'm sorry, Serenoa.
Don't look so down, Frederica. I was delighted when you asked me to share a meal. Now that I'm back, why don't I help you with the food?
Serenoa.
They're like lovebirds. Ugh.
Thank you again for inviting me. I'm overjoyed we could spend this time together.
As am I. I enjoyed cooking with you as well.
The time we spend together is very precious to me. I regret that my duties have been keeping us apart lately. But when I noticed the sky was even more beautiful than ever this night, I hurried home, hoping we could gaze upon its beauty together.
It's strange. When I was in Esfrost, I would look up at the same sky. But it felt so much colder there. The stars seemed as if frozen. They did not twinkle the way they do now that I am with you, Serenoa.
Frederica, promise me that you will always stay by my side.
You got like the perfect atmosphere and mood to start, you know, making out and stuff.
I need you. Now more than ever.
Of course, Serenoa. I wish to gaze up at the same sky, sit beneath the same moon, and walk the same path you do. Together, forever and always.
Back to Hyzante.
Under
For a bit.
this tree.
This here's the land of the Jax clan. Or used to be, more like. That clasp on your chest, that's their sigil, if I'm not mistaken.
It's a memento from my parents. Or so I was told.
Aye, now that I'm looking for it, I can see the resemblance. Same silvery hair and everything. Villages near here met with a pretty terrible fate. They begged the armies to spare their fields. The only one who listened was one of House Wolffort's bannermen. No one was surprised, big war hero that he was. But by the time we got here, the Jacks had been all but exterminated. He was digging graves for the dead, enemy and all. A hero and a gentleman he was.
Talking about Simo?
Name's on the tip of my tongue.
Benedict.
Or Benedict, yeah, I guess. Even better.
That was it. Do you know the man? I'd like you to pass on my gratitude, if you do.
Thanks for showing me the way.
Your coin's all the thanks I require. If that's all you'll be needing me for, I'll leave you to it.
You make a poor stalker.
Ain't exactly what I'm built for.
You fought in the battle here, didn't you?
Benedict swore me to secrecy. But suppose it ain't break an oath if you already know.
So they meet again in Anna's side story. Is Erador her father?
Oh, but first I ought to tell you. You've the right to the truth. And those ain't my words. They're his. That's why he never tried to stop you from finding out about your parents.
You know of their fate?
We drove the enemy up the cliff top. Cornered him there.
Oh, never mind then.
The same instant we cut their leader down, a babe cried out in the distance. In the hideout, we found you, all swaddled up. A letter pinned to you with that same clasp on your chest.
Live strong, Anna. Stronger than any. I see now.
Your family died at our hands. If it's vengeance you want, you can take it out on me.
That doesn't sound like the Erador I know. Do you think so little of me? To assume I would forsake my friend, bloody my hands with revenge. I know the truth at last. That is enough.
Is it, Anna? Or are you forcing it to be?
He's definitely giving Fee vibes.
Don't be a fool. Benedict is the one who raised me. If I ever want for a father, I know where to find him. When we've won this war, I shall make sure he understands that.
Erador's pretty involved with many of these side stories.
Made it in time, my lord.
Erador, you came.
Lady Destra. Your mother was loved by one and all, my lord. Honoring her this day is the least we can do. Is it just you here, my lord?
We are beset on all sides by tasks large and small. I would not impose my familial obligations on the others.
Spoken like a true leader. Me and your mother may not have been family by blood, but duty bound us just as close.
I am sure she would have been overjoyed to see you by my side. I never had a chance to know her. My only memories are from stories others told me. And still, I somehow can feel the warmth of her embrace, hear the loving sound of her voice.
She was smitten, that is true. She held on to you so tightly, I reckon not even the Dawn Spear could have pried you from her.
Did she?
Lady Destra's smile was brighter than the sun, and near as constant. She treated young Benedict and I like little brothers, though at times we weren't so deserving of her care. Even so, she always had a kind word, and worry enough to spare. There weren't a woman like her in all of Norzelia.
I did not know the bond between you three ran so deep. Benedict never mentioned it.
His lips aren't as loose as mine, especially when it comes to Lady Destra. Speaking of which, here. Your mother would have loved to get one of these from you.
A snowbell? My father mentioned her fondness for these flowers. Every year when I visited her, without fail, one of these would be placed in front of her grave. Was that you all this time?
Well, not exactly, my lord.
They're quite rare, are they not? I often search for them, but I have yet to see one in bloom.
So it's probably Benedict.
Where did you find it?
Well, I made a journey down south. Benedict insisted. Apologies for my absence, my lord.
There is naught to apologize for. 'Twas a thoughtful gesture, and I thank you for it. Somehow, I can feel Mother smiling down upon us.
More than I deserve, if I'm being honest.
Huh. There's already a snowbell. Who could have...
Should have known. Nothing'll stop him from his duty.
What was that?
It was nothing, my lord. Seems we're not the only ones carrying a torch for Lady Destra.
Indeed. We are fortunate to be part of such a close-knit house. And that is thanks to those who serve it. I trust I'll see you here again in a year's time, Erador.
Of course, my lord. Snowbells might capture a moment in time, but your mother inspired loyalty for an eternity.
Almost all of the main characters have side stories, or all in this case. Yeah, we're gonna accuracy, lady.
Yeah.
Get me in trouble here and there.
At it again, eh? You know, even the Dawn Spear set down his weapon on occasion.
Erador's with her too. Erador's just an attention hog.
We're at war. I cannot hope to end it by being idle.
Spoken like a true member of the Kingsguard. You lot were always too serious for my tastes.
We were not serious enough. Where is the king we were meant to protect now? What will become of his kingdom? King Regna and Crown Prince Franny are no more. Only Roland and Cordelia remain. When I think of how lonely my charge must feel, I almost feel smothered by the guilt.
If he's lonely, he hides it well. Could be that losing his princely obligations has lifted a weight off his shoulders.
And who are you to speak on his feelings? His father ever doted on Franny. He knew precious few moments of his mother's love before she passed. Even so, He tried his utmost to never show weakness in front of his sister. He was there for her in the worst of times. There was never a place near the throne for him. Truth be told, Sir Maxwell was more of a father to him than anyone. I'd like to think I have been more than his guard. Oftentimes, I felt like his confidant.
You and Fluggy are constant companions.
As I said before, my prince, he is more than my companion. He is the truest friend I could ask for.
A true friend? I must admit, I envy your relationship.
My prince, I did not mean to.
'Tis nothing to apologize for. I simply find the idea of soaring the skies with a true friend to be somewhat romantic.
You could do the same with the proper training. If it pleases you, my prince, I would gladly teach you.
You would? Then I gladly accept. I trust you will go easy on me.
I can promise no such thing. You must become as ferocious as a hawk yourself if you wish to ride one.
Might as well call them Griffon. They're huge for hawks.
War broke out soon after that. My promise to teach him is yet unfulfilled. So I will train, I will fight, until the skies are no longer clouded by the fires of war. Only then can I rest. Only then can we fly free. Perhaps then, with the wind in our faces, we can forget our stations, our titles, if only just for one moment.
What was that last part? You'll have to speak up.
Nothing. Nothing at all. Yes, it's back to training for me.
Oh, so she kind of likes him. Makes sense.
It's become late. We'd best keep an eye out for bandits.
You have a warrior's intuition. You needn't worry. I won't let us come to harm.
It takes no great intuition to see that this world is falling ever deeper into chaos. The reasons, however, remain elusive. Will we see our way safely through this darkness? I cannot say.
We have naught but our duty, and mine is to Prince Roland, whatever might become of House Wolffort.
I find your perspective refreshing. Although it may be direct, you walk the path you've chosen with confidence. On the other hand, I often feel that I'm fumbling. I had thought Gustadolf to be a man of reason. But now I see that he will not hesitate to employ deceit to achieve his goals. In a manner of speaking, he and I are not so different. I, too, once hoped to have the influence to change the nation. At least, I told myself so. Really, all I wanted was to be free, and Frederica was simply a means to that end. As long as I had what I wanted, I had no great concern for what became of her.
Geela,
But this war has caused me to reconsider that. I realize that Frederica herself is worth caring for. She's not the sheltered princess I took her to be. Her wits are a match even for Benedict. She surprised me, and shamed me. I was wrong to underestimate her. to define her by her birth and station. She represents my greatest failures as a teacher, but also my greatest success. For she has truly taken my lessons to heart. I see now there is no shame in serving another, and no shame in sacrificing my freedom for something greater. Oh, but perhaps I've shared overmuch. For some reason, I find it easy to talk with you.
The feeling is mutual. You are not so aloof as I thought.
Ah! I've just had a thought. When the war is behind us, I may very well open my own school. Of course, you would be welcome to join me. I would be master of the classroom, and you could be master of the training yard. We could teach our students the art of hawksmanship. Our riders would be first class. Ah, what should our school be named? You will come and teach with me, won't you?
Nah, she's gonna simp for Roland.
Not half so aloof as I thought.
Never saw myself coming this far just to be scrubbing the decks on some ship.
Quiet. This is an important job, even if you think it beneath you.
I meant no disrespect. It's just that my brother and I always figured we'd be passengers on a ship like this.
I see. Was he fond of ships?
Not as such, no.
What's that?
It's my brother. Or rather, his ashes, anyhow.
Huh.
Made a promise to him when we were still small, you see. When he got better, I told him we'd set off to wherever we wanted, eat whatever we wanted, see things nobody'd seen. He always dreamt we'd find a paradise of our own and live like kings. But he never so much as left his sickbed, let alone the duchy itself. I'm a terrible brother. Broke my word. As soon as I saw this ship, it all came flooding back.
You needn't punish yourself. You did all you could to protect him.
Thank you. I appreciate the kind words, but what's done is done.
I refuse to accept that. Nothing is ever final. And I dare say, the weather is fair enough for a short test cruise.
We can just take the ship out for a joyride? Don't we need his lordship's permission?
I am my own person and responsible for my own actions, and the consequences of those actions. Besides, I must ensure that the ship is in working order. And you deserve a reward for your labor today. I am certain we can handle ourselves if we work together.
So I guess Anna's a senior to Rudolph and Decimo.
Don't need to tell me twice. The sea air feels wonderful. I had no idea a breeze could feel so good. You never got to go outside, you know, on account of the sickness. You just lay there, staring at the ceiling. But now we can finally see the bright blue sky and feel the winds uncaged. If only one of his dreams is fulfilled, I'm glad it's this one. Thank you, Anna. This has turned into a fine way to honor his memory. He's free now.
There is no need for thanks. This is my job.
Aye, so you say. That don't mean I can't be grateful.
Got a good view of a ship sailing. And lastly, Jens. I really I have enough resource to make Jens powerful. Maybe next playthrough.
This place was host to a battle not long ago, wasn't it?
We have come here to help. Let us offer what relief we can.
I never imagined the war would spiral this out of hand. Before the fighting started, all I cared about was becoming the realm's greatest blacksmith. I dreamed of forging the perfect weapon, a testament to strength. But what is strength, truly? Of late, I have pondered much on that question.
And have you arrived at an answer?
Well...
There they are! Thanks for the sweets you gave us. Hey, let's play a game!
Very well. What shall we play? Apologies, Jens. You may return. You needn't wait for me.
Come on! Over here!
I believe I may have found my answer, Lord Serenoa. Courage, kindness, warmth that kindles a smile upon a child's face. The fortitude to keep fighting, no matter what trials you may face. Through it all, your heart remains unbent and unbroken. That is what will end this war. You, my lord, and the unmatched weapons you carry within you.
Alright then, let's get to Golden Route.
You should play with us too!
Let's end this war.
If you insist. Here I come!
That's that. Pretty long, a lot of character stories, but I think we beefed up our convictions before this big decision. Good time to grind too. I probably need to grind on another route to not be locked on morality, which we will do during Golden Route. But we want to recruit the other 3 characters on the other path, which is Cordelia and the bandit son and daughter. So yes, I'll see you guys next time.